Hi guys, Beth here at Abby's Ag's Creation, and today we're actually going to be going over curved surfaces and how to make a Christmas bauble or Christmas glass ornament using the F2. This will work across all of the machines for xTool. It's not just specifically for the F2. However, you will have to adjust your settings for the different machines. We do have our groups that we have set up where we do share all of our settings in a Google Sheets in the featured section of our groups. Those will all be linked below. So let's hop right on in and get started making a glass ornament. And use a jig like this. If you don't have a jig, you can use Play-Doh. I've used Play-Doh often, especially at events when I didn't have a jig available for me. So basically you just put the Play-Doh down and you put your bauble onto it, and then you would just measure from there. So basically you just put your Play-Doh down, you put your bauble onto it. I make kind of a little indent and just place it there. And then we will go over to the laptop and we will measure. We're at the laptop. As you can see, I have my photo on here already edited the way that I want. It is inverted, so that way it engraves correctly, and that way it won't look like this on my bauble. I am going to refresh the picture. This image worked well for me at a width of 40 and a height of 38. So now what we have to do is we have to set the process mode to curved material. And it's actually set for the last one that I did. So we will remeasure just to show you guys. I'm going to unclick that. And my width, I am going to do 41. My height, I am going to do 39. And then click framing, because that's going to show you exactly where it is on the bauble. So let's head over there and we will check the framing. So this is it framing. As you can see, there is a little bit going down this way, and I'm almost positive it's because I am using something higher than I did before, because I am using the Play-Doh. But that's okay. We will just adjust it over here. So we went ahead, we already stopped the framing. I'm gonna have to adjust the height. I'm gonna call this maybe 38, and we'll see how that looks. As you can see, that looks much better. I am getting a little bit down this way, coming down, but it's still gonna work great. I think it would have worked fine the other way as well, because we're not actually going to be engraving down this far on the bauble anyways. So let's go ahead and set the picture up and engrave it. Back to 39, just because I know it's going to work for what I am doing. So I'm going to click next. You're going to get this box that comes up, and this shows you all the different points where it will measure going across. You can set it for more if you would like. I found this works pretty good. I will do 5 and 5. And then you're going to start measuring. I'm not sure if you guys can see yet, but the light just goes and it measures each area that you told it to measure. At any point you can go back and remeasure any point that you got a mistake with. These are those two spots that we're hitting onto the Play-Doh right here. Again, I'm not going to worry about that because I'm not using that particular area of the bauble. So I'm just going to go ahead. I am just going to bump up some of this. And I'm going to hit done. So now it's going to show you a different size work area. It's showing you the work area that we had set for the parameters. And so obviously now, instead of having the bigger size, you're just working with a smaller. A lot of people kind of find that confusing because they still assume they're going to get the same work area. No, your work area is going to be what you told it to measure. So this is my file here. As you can see, it's set to 40 wide, 38 high. I did do a dot duration of 80, a power of 40 with 300 lines per inch. And I'm in Jarvis. I think I'm actually going to bump this down just a little bit more. And I am going to hit process. And I'm going to hit start, and we will head on back over to the F2 and we will see what we got. So we're just going to hit start over here on the F2 and you will see it engrave. So I am just going to be using some Rust-Oleum white. This is gloss. I'm just using up what I have. You can use matte. You don't have to use white. You can use black. You can use gold, any color you would like. So what we're going to do is we're going to aim the nozzle into the bauble and make sure it's in there. Otherwise, it'll be hard to scrub off. Spray paint is actually much thinner than acrylic paint, so it's a little easier. I mean, you can water down acrylic paint, but this also dries a little bit faster, I found. Could just be my particular room because my room is kind of colder. But that's all you do. You just move it around and shake it a little bit and cover up the whole engraved image. And there's the actual image all done and paint filled in, and I will just let this dry now and hang it up. And this is the finished product. It is now hanging on my tree. If you would please consider subscribing to our channel if you like learning this kind of content. That way you don't miss any videos that are going to be posted. Remember, we do share all of our settings in a Google's sheet that you can find in our featured section in all of our groups, which all three will be linked down below.